It's really funny. And he like
And
keeps
he's got his
flashing his
stupid
band.
wig on for the whole time. He's got this stupid
He's got this stupid long hair, like
long
old
hair.
man's long-haired wig.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Two Asian Blokes Podcast, a podcast where we talk about Asian pop culture, films, TV shows, comic books, anime, music, food, video games, whatever we're feeling at the time, really. My name is Dan with a H. With me, as always, is my co-host, Thavy. What's up, Thavy?
Hey man, yeah, not too much. Had a pretty busy week, but also a pretty fun week as well. Went to go see some live music the other night.
Yeah?
You probably haven't heard of them. No, they're too indie for this. But went to go see Elephant Gym, if you're familiar with them.
I am not.
Yeah, they are a Taiwanese math rock band, and it is very much a coincidence that a group of Asians are really good at a subgenre called math rock. Which is kind of just like a lot of weird time signatures. So yeah, very, very much like an instrumental kind of thing. Yeah, it was really good. It's funny because they were supporting an Aussie band that I'd listen to from time to time called Sleep Makes Waves.
Okay.
They're like a prog rock band, but this was the case where like the support act is more popular than the headliners. Because when I was standing in line, I'm like, man, there's a lot of Asians here. And I was really surprised.
Yeah.
But then I shouldn't have been surprised because, it's an Asian rock band.
Oh.
I think because like the lead singer is kind of cute as well. So that's probably like drawing in a bit of a crowd.
Maybe all the Asians were tricked by the prospect of math. They're like, ooh, math. Let's fucking line up for this.
Ooh, that's a bit of a racist stereotype, man. You know?
Hey, you brought it up, man. I'm just just following along with your joke.
Yeah, that's right. Well, yeah.
But we do love math.
I don't love math. But yeah, it was pretty cool. But like, I noticed that the crowd was like when Elephant Gym were on, like everyone's kind of like sort of more crowded to the front. And then like when the main band came on, Sleep Makes Waves, it's like, oh yeah, I've got like a much clearer view of the band now because I think most of the Asian girls had left because you got like two Taiwanese guys, like pretty handsome looking dudes, and then like a cute like Taiwanese bass player. And then when they leave, it's just like four burly white men with no hair and like massive beards, like rocking like kind of a heavier sound. And like, oh yeah, it's kind of, as much as I hate to admit, it is kind of like Asian girl repellent, this kind of music. So it's like, yeah.
I mean, speaking in generalities here, right?
Yeah, that is very general. I do know one Asian girl who has come with us to a lot of these gigs.
Yeah.
But no, I went to this one alone. And I bring this up because, I've been enjoying this really, like, it's really, really nice to see like really good musicianship. It's really nice to see like these Asian artists coming to Australia like more frequently. Like, I don't even think that's even an issue anymore because so many of them come around. That's cool.
Yeah.
But as I was watching the stage, I'm like, it's really good music. And then for some reason, this crept back into my mind because it's been bugging me for a little while. I was going to concede the fact that, Coachella's changed. Might not be for me, but there's still some good music there.
Yeah, okay.
Then you showed me something, Dan.
Yeah.
You showed me this clip and you just wrote the caption, "This is Coachella 2024.
Yeah.
And it was a segment from Lana Del Rey's second weekend where she had a surprise guest, Camila Cabello, who I've not listened to any of her music. And I know that she was in that really bad Cinderella remake.
Oh, yeah, she was in that, wasn't she? Yeah.
Yeah. Not my, I don't know what her kind of music is.
Well,
it's not my thing.
She's sung songs like that one that goes, "I love it when you call me señorita." You know that one?
Oh, did you sing that one?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know that. I actually do know that song.
It's like pop with a Latin vibe. That was her previous shtick.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's rebranded now, Thavy. So she doesn't do that anymore.
She's rebranded. I watched this performance of the song "I Love It," and it is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. It's made me retract that statement where I might have given Coachella the benefit of the doubt that, it's still evolving, it's changing, but like, nah, Coachella used to be cooler back then. If this is what's popular, and then
I think it was the mumble rap that put you over the edge.
What? I don't understand. I was just like, what the fuck is this? And then I see a lot of people like kind of say that it was good in the comments. You told me that people were like saying that it's not good, which I didn't see any. And then I see people on YouTube like defending it. It's just like, oh yeah, this is pretty cool. Like I like, and it's like, oh, like I don't care. Like the argument of like us being old and out of touch. It doesn't work with this, man. It's not.
From what I've seen, I think people are clowning on that performance and that
are they
song.
As well? Yeah. Because I haven't seen anyone clown on it. I've just seen people say, "Oh, this is such a vibe," and I'm just like, oh, "Fuck!" You can't convince me that anything on that stage was good. It's flailing around. It's ADD. Like, but I don't know how. Like, there's no.
My favorite part of that performance is Lana Del Rey.
She's trapped. She's trapped.
She's almost like a hostage. She's like behind these
like
bars.
She's like singing something. Yeah. And she's like, or whatever.
It's really funny, Thavy.
I mean, Lana can like. I've heard one of her songs, "Video Games," and that's a cool song. I like it. But like, I was just like, what? This is not a performance. You know?
Well, to be fair, I think it was a last minute adjustment because I think she was supposed to have a different guest on that might have been Taylor Swift.
Was it supposed to be Taylor Swift?
It might have been Taylor Swift, and then Taylor had to cancel, so they kind of
just
put something together ad hoc.
You don't need to have a guest.
Well,
just sit. Like, why? It's your stage. If the guest doesn't come on,
I guess they needed to fill a spot, you know?
She got fined for overperforming.
Oh, did she?
Her set went 13 minutes.
Well, it was worth it, wasn't it, Thavy, for that performance?
That's the positive. It was really funny and
I was
bad.
at the point where like, man, this can't get any worse. And then the mumble rap kicked in, and I was like, oh man, it got worse somehow.
Yeah, I was like, what? Like, you can't defend that rap, man. Like, for people that are into this kind of music, what would be like the reasoning or the arguments?
Comment in if you're a big
why?
fan
Like,
of this sound. If you like mumble rap, you know, comment in, because I'd be interested to know
not even just mumble rap, like it just this song. Like the only thing that I can think people would say that they like it is because it's a vibe. That's it. That's the only
and
argument.
She seems like she's having fun, I guess.
Yeah, but there's a limit to that. Sure, like a performance is a combination of flaws and, you know, personality, but the flaws suck. The personality sucks. It is just like she's rebranded herself into a bratty teenager.
Yeah.
Who's just flailing around on stage. It's like, look, mummy, I made this fucking piece of art. It's like, oh, that's great.
Is Lana Del Rey the mummy in this situation?
Yeah.
She was so supportive.
Because I couldn't stop thinking about it. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, you should watch the promo for that song. But
the MV?
No, it's not the MV. It's like a pre-MV thing that she released prior to the song. Yeah. She's got like her head stuck out of the car, and she's like kind of flailing around on the outside of the car as the song plays. It's like, the comments for that video are pretty funny as well. There's a lot of like Hereditary references.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Check it out.
I just had to get that out there because like I couldn't excuse this. Like,
fair enough. Well, I'm glad you're able to get that off your chest. And we do have some music news in this show as well. We've got a bunch of news to cover. We're going to be covering the HYBE ADOR scandal. We've got One Punch Man live action news. We've got a teaser for Baby Assassins 3. We're going to do mini reviews for the movies Civil War as well as the Rebel Moon series. And then we're going to do our main review for this episode, the Roundup punishment. Ooh. Yeah. I'll put time codes in if you want to jump around to stuff.
Yeah. Also, let us know if these segments are worth keeping on the same episode, or because like we kind of waffle a little bit, and we do because it is fun for us. But it's also like maybe we're just as bad as Camille Cabello, and we can't like keep ourselves focused. So I love
it.
Oh, so bad. worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Yeah.
All right. Well, shall we talk about another terrible thing, Thavy?
Yes.
HYBE and ADOR. This is via Forbes. So a struggle over the popular K-pop act New Jeans erupted this week after Korean entertainment giant HYBE filed a police report accusing the head of its own subsidiary music label, ADOR, of trying to secretly break away to manage New Jeans independently. So for those that don't know, New Jeans is under the label ADOR, which is an offshoot of the bigger company, which is called HYBE. I think HYBE has BTS under them.
HYBE has BTS and Le Sserafim.
Yeah. Whereas ADOR is a smaller company that basically has New Jeans.
New Jeans.
Yeah.
Is it just New Jeans?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah. Because that's like the CEO of ADOR is Min Hee-jin.
Yeah.
She's kind of been acting as mentor to New Jeans and kind of like developed this group pretty much independently.
Yeah.
And now HYBE is basically accusing her of putting out private information about the company in a bid to get New Jeans to herself, basically, is the allegations. Now, this is very fresh at time of recording, so it's still a very fresh situation where we, don't really know what's going on, but those are the allegations.
I mean, like, at the end of the day, I hope it doesn't, like, affect New Jeans negatively. I'm definitely one that doesn't often like to side with corporations. So I feel like this is a little bit of information warfare.
It is definitely
a little bit of corporate espionage.
Probably on both sides, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm probably leaning more towards Min Hee-jin. Like, I mean, it is all allegations, and maybe she might be the bad person in this. But I feel like there's a couple of execs in HYBE who are like, all right, New Jeans is successful now. Get her out of here. And then let's just make some shit up.
Yeah. From like just on a surface level, that kind of is what it looks like. But it's kind of hard to tell because there's a lot of like, especially on K-pop forums and stuff, like there's a lot of very biased kind of like media representation. Like there's a lot of Min Hee-jin haters, I think.
Yeah, I didn't realize she had that many. So that's why I'm like, I feel like there is some not truthful information. It's warfare, basically. It's espionage.
Yeah. So that kind of makes it hard to discern the facts and the truths behind the whole thing. Like the only real thing that I've seen like video-wise is a bunch of reels where Min Hee-jin is like at a press conference trying to explain like her side of it, and people just making fun of her because she seems sloppy and disorganized. So I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't realize HYBE had acolytes. I mean, I can understand if people like BTS have armies or they have their fans, but they like the group, not the company.
Sure, they're the talent.
The talent, like. I don't really see that many people simping for like SM or like JYP or anything, unless I'm not in the K-pop space that like I listen to it and I watch it, but I don't engage in the community. So I could be wrong about this.
Well, I think it's more like people hating on Min Hee-jin, to be honest.
Yeah.
When not so much people like defending HYBE.
I didn't realize people hate her. Like she's made fucking New Jeans.
Yeah.
And she's like created this new sound. I think if she leaves or if she loses this battle, I don't think New Jeans would be over, but I think New Jeans will become even more corporate. They'll just turn into like another Le Sserafim or something. That's nothing against Le Sserafim, but it's more just like, it's kind of maybe rushing the girls to release stuff and then...
Sure. Yeah, like New Jeans as it is now is a bit of a force to be reckoned with, especially in the West. Like they've gotten so much recognition in the West. Like, and I think a lot of that has to do with Min Hee-jin, for better or worse. So taking them away from her is probably not the best move for the...
Yeah, I don't think so.
For the group. But it's money, Thavy.
Yeah. That's the sad thing. She probably does want to leave HYBE. Maybe she had proposed that idea of leaving and then executives are like, no.
Nah, shut it down.
New Jeans is they earn us too much money. It's kind of sad. It's unfortunate because there's like a dawn of a new like generation of K-pop and a new sound, but this could like sully the reputation. I mean, there's been a couple of like K-pop dramas. Like, what was that group that did Cupid? 50/50? That was like one of the biggest international hits of last year. And they're gone. Like they've disbanded, I think. Yeah, because of a lot of drama behind the scenes.
I mean, it's definitely had a negative impact on HYBE's share price. They've dropped about 12% since the company announced it would launch an audit on ADOR.
Yeah.
You know, which is less money than they had before. I don't know. But then again, like, if the accusations of her leaking private information is true, that's not the best way to go about it either. So we'll keep an eye on it.
Would have to talk to Ming. I messaged him and he was like, I'm in a suck at the moment, so I'm just kind of learning about this now. And we'll eventually release our New Jeans episode that we recorded like months ago, but I haven't
unless
had time
we decide to add bubblegum reaction.
Oh yeah, bubblegum. That's right. I haven't actually seen bubblegum yet. Yeah,
you haven't seen it yet?
That's a proper comeback. Yeah, it's not like a Coke Zero song or something, right?
Yeah, no, it's a proper song.
Okay, yeah, I should actually watch it then. Yeah. I think I've seen some stuff on Instagram. But anyway, at the end of the day, I hope it gets resolved and I hope it doesn't hinder the onward climb of success for New Jeans, because it's really cool. And like there's 2 Aussie girls in there and I'm rooting for them because that's really cool. Especially,
they seem like they're just getting started as well.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Be a shame if this was the peak.
Yeah, good on them. Yeah, we'd definitely go see them live. I reckon. I think that'd be a fun show. Yeah,
a show. It'd be so packed. It would be so hard to get tickets, I reckon.
Yeah, fucking hell, yeah. Especially in Melbourne.
If Twice was hard, then New Jeans can't be really hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, this is from Games Radar, One Punch Man live action adaptation. So this has been in the works since like 2022. Justin Lin was announced as a director for this project under Sony. But recently, the co-creator of Rick and Morty, Dan Harmon, and Heather Ann Campbell on board as writers. So they're doing rewrites currently of the script.
So this is an American adaptation.
I just heard all the excitement in your voice drain out.
Yeah. To be honest, I wasn't.
Not only is it an American adaptation, it's from Sony as well.
Yeah, look, I wasn't even that jazzed if it was a Japanese live action one, because I think much of the humor and the point of it is that it's an anime and it's animated. And now it's even like, I don't care, to be honest. I like Dan Harmon's stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
I like Justin Lin's stuff. You know, it's done some good work with the Fast and Furious franchise.
Yeah. I mean,
like, even though you don't like that franchise, his ones are the best ones, you know?
Yeah. That's fair. I mean, I don't really have that much to say about this, is that I'm not really that excited.
Do you think Dan Harmon's breed of humor is a good fit for One Punch Man, from what you've seen of One Punch Man?
Nah, I think Dan Harmon's humor is still like, I like Dan Harmon's style of humor, but it is that kind of self-aware, satirical.
That's One Punch Man, though.
It is One Punch Man.
It is self-aware and it is satirical, right?
But I think...
But it's very Japanese.
It's very Japanese, yeah. That's basically what it's saying. He's too American for it, I think.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
One Punch Man is, in its roots, a very like Japanese style of storytelling. And I think if the manga and anime is there, you don't need the live action. Like, what is it going to add? Like, it doesn't just live act. It's just not going to work.
I agree. I don't think this series is one that can be adapted, especially like catering to an American audience, I think.
Yeah, no.
I don't think anyone's going to be really into that.
Yeah.
Despite the talent behind it. Because I like Dan Harmon as well. I like Rick and Morty as much as the next guy.
Yeah. I like Community.
You know, I like Community as well. Like, the humor on the surface level might seem like a good idea, but it's different.
I don't think it's gonna work. But that's my usual reaction.
We could be wrong. Prove us wrong,
action.
Sony. Prove us wrong, Justin Lin.
Yeah, it's funny because Sony is a fucking Japanese company, but it's just like, oh yeah, it's still Sony somewhat.
Who would you cast as Saitama?
You might know. I mean, if you're trying to make it a little bit good, you can put like Ryan Gosling. He's kind of funny these days after post Ken.
They'd have to go Asian though, right?
They're not going to, because it's Hollywood.
I reckon they would. I reckon if they didn't, there'd be a lot of backlash.
Yeah, but they would just set it in like America, wouldn't it? Like, aren't they adapting this into an American story? That's the only way.
We don't really know that much about it, so. But I mean, like, Dan Harmon puts a bunch of anime references in Rick and Morty.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
he might-
Well, that was like part Justin Roiland as well. So, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, he created Rick and Morty. So, you know.
Yeah. And that's all he did. Don't look it up, but no, I think an anime adaptation is difficult at the best of time when it's something as steeped in Japanese culture as One Punch Man. You know, they're already on the back foot. So
Yeah.
but could be wrong. Maybe this is the first anime adaptation that's going to be good.
Nah, I doubt it. I haven't like I could bet my life on it that it won't be good. Like I'm that
They should get
confident.
Vin Diesel and Justin Lin, back at it.
Yeah, they'd love to work with each other again, wouldn't they? Yeah, for sure.
Ooh. All right, let's move on, shall we? Baby Assassins 3. So we got a teaser for this movie, alternate title Baby Assassin's Nice Days. This is the third movie in Sagamoto Yugo's Baby Assassin series, which continues the adventures of Chisato and Mahiro, a couple of young women who are just trying to make a living in Japan as a couple of professional assassins.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty excited. It looks dramatic from the trailer, from the teaser. It looks like Mahiro seems gravely injured.
Yeah. It looks like the this shit just got real edition of the series.
Yeah, the series. So no,
it's the bad boys for life of the series.
Which the new one is coming out. It actually looks quite fun. I'm probably gonna go watch it.
Did you watch Bad Boys for Life?
I did watch Bad Boys for Life.
It's not very good, is it?
Yeah, it's not very good, but I liked it. I thought it was funny. Yeah, that's Bad Boys. No, I didn't know anything about this coming up, so I was like really pleasantly surprised when you sent this to me. I still don't really know that much about the production, but I just know that it's coming, and I've seen the teaser. So there's obviously been some work put onto it, unless it's AI, because there is a AI trailer of Millie Bobby Brown in Friday the 13th. Not Friday. The Freddy Krueger one, Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, they're like, ooh, Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh, that was cool. And then I was watching and like, this voiceover sounds fucking weird. And then it was just Millie Bobby Brown AI'd, but then other clips of other movies spliced in. So like, it's not real. But yeah, I don't think this clip is AI.
I think this one is real.
It's real.
Who would bother making an AI teaser for Baby Assassins 3?
That's right. Yeah. I mean, like as much as I love this franchise, like it's not like the most popular. But I'm glad that they're making it. Yeah,
it's definitely got a cult following.
I think that's really cool. It's definitely a cult series, and if they're making a third one, there's definitely fans of it.
I think they do okay commercially because they seem pretty cheap to make, especially the first one.
Yeah. So. I really love the series. I think they're really fun to watch. So I'm very excited to watch the third one. Yeah, I like to see where they go.
It seems like maybe less slice of life. There's probably more slice of life stuff in the actual movie.
Yeah, I think there would be. Yeah.
But the teaser is definitely more action heavy and more dramatic, as you said.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. Color me excited. And then it'll be like John M. Chu would direct it or something. I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe yeah. that would be the death of a franchise.
John M. Chu is the death of a franchise, Thavy?
Yeah, I reckon so. Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, let's talk about a director that you actually like then, shall we? You watched Civil War recently.
Yeah, I did.
I haven't seen this, but are you going to do a spoiler review or what are you doing?
I have a lot to say about this movie, but considering that this episode is not a Civil War episode, I'll try to be as concise as possible. But no, I did watch Civil War, and I'm not talking about the Captain America one. It is the Alex Garland.
It's the boring one. I haven't seen it.
It's not boring. I'll get into that a bit. But it's the latest Alex Garland movie and possibly his last directed movie. But yeah, it is.
What do you mean? What do you mean his last directed movie?
I think he said in an interview that he doesn't want to do directing anymore. I think he's just going to stick to writing. Yeah, because which I might have a theory about. But yeah, he says he's kind of a bit sick of it.
Sure.
Anyway.
Well, he's previously done. For those that don't know, he's previously done Annihilation, Ex Machina, and Men, which was not that well received.
Yeah. Civil War was a bit more well received, I think, according to the critics. It's got like a pretty decent IMDb score, 7.6. It's got Yeah, it's got a kind of a mixed Google. It's got a mixed audience critic review, but like
It's not bad for a movie that seems mismarketed. But
Yeah,
again,
like-
I haven't seen it. But judging from the trailers, it's
I don't think it was mismarketed. His movies are weird,
okay.
but people
Yeah.
don't really. I mean, I'll go on a rant about that in a second. But like, it's the premise of the movie is very simple. It is basically a modern day civil war in America, and a group of photojournalists are trying to trek across to Washington D.C. to try to get an interview with the president. Yeah. And yeah, along the way, they come across various scenarios pretty much. And yeah, I really like this movie. It's I actually just came out of the theater earlier today. I watched it again because it's probably like the best looking and best sounding movie of this year so far.
Okay. Better than Godzilla X Kong, Thavy?
Yes. And controversial opinion, better than -1. Ooh, I just
Better
went there.
than June 2?
I like it better than Dune 2. Yeah. Surprising,
Okay.
right?
Right.
Yeah. I've always been a fan of Alex Garland's work. I even liked Men, even though it might not be my favorite out of his work. And the messaging might be a bit confused. I've only watched that movie once, but Civil War is probably his most like straightforward movie. It's literally a civil war. And there's obvious there's an obvious faction of Republicans and like California they call it the Western Front. But the movie doesn't really delve into it that much. It doesn't really delve into the politics of things, which I think is why most people didn't like it. I mean, like a lot of the criticism of this movie is that it's boring, you know, and like it's just like there's nothing interesting. And like, I don't know what movie you guys are watching. It's very well paced. Just everything about like the cinematography is fantastic, but it is the sound design. Like it depicts war as this is like as close to as what you'd imagine what a civil war is like and what would happen. Not even a civil war, a war, you know?
Yeah.
Because the main plot follows these photojournalists. So everything is like framed very nicely. And a lot of it is very visual storytelling. A lot of the criticism as well is that like the characters are not that deep and it's pointless. But I think that kind of is the point because war is war. And what I kind of garnered is that a lot of the movie takes place like them driving through like these, you know, forests and these kind of abandoned car parks and you know, like nature. It's kind of like got that very 28 Days Later-esque look.
Sure.
Yeah. And it's kind of
I Am Legend aesthetic.
yeah, I guess so. But like not as urban as you think. And there's only really like a couple of action scenes which are they're done really, really well. But most of the tension is like within the situations that they come across. And there is like you might have seen this meme pop up where like Jesse Plemons plays like he's obviously like a white supremacist. It's in the trailer where the guy's like, "Oh, what kind of like we're Americans?" and it's like, "What kind of American are you?" That is actually the best scene in the movie. And even watching it on the second time, you know all the surprises and twists, but that scene is still like it's really hard to watch, especially if you are Asian, because there's something that happens in that scene that is like it's very uncomfortable, but as a piece of art, it's really good, you know. It really depicts how natural war is almost and how much war is basically a part of us and how, you know, some people tend to just ignore it because they come across these subsects of people where the war has been untouched and they're just like, yeah, we know it's happening, but we kind of just try to stay out of it. And it's pretty much like true. I mean, I'm not going to get into all the world conflicts that are happening now, but there's stuff that's happening and like we don't like pay attention to it. But does that like make us bad people for not doing that? But I think you'd be doing a disservice to this movie and really any Alex Garland movie if you're not watching it in a theater, which was my biggest regret for Annihilation, that I did not watch it in a theater. because even like the boring dialogue stuff is shot really well, and it just adds to the story of it.
Do you think a lot of the enjoyment you get from these films comes from the filmmaker's eye?
Yeah, but I mean, like, you might be right. Yeah.
You know, like, is there enough narratively in this film to be of interest?
I mean, aside from the atmosphere and the filmmaker's eye, like, you should be smart enough to know situations and read people's expressions, right? And what people are doing, you know. It's all there, and you have to use your own imagination, which is what I think a lot of, like, general people kind of lack these days, because everyone can only just listen to what their favorite reviewer says, or just follow. A lot of people say, oh, I've read this is boring or this is bad, so yeah. Or I expected this and that, you know? And then it's just like, this can't really make up your own mind. And I think, like, look, you're welcome to like what you like, but it's also, I think it's just I'm going to slam TikTok again, but it is just the generation of TikTok and Disney where we're fed a lot of just like slop cinema wise. And then when something, I think this is a very straightforward movie, and I don't think there's really that much to it, but it's like people don't seem to get it. But I don't know, like I find this to be a very thought-provoking movie, and it was something that on first viewing, I watched this on extreme screen, and I did not regret it. I was going to watch it at Pentridge, but I missed the session, so I'll watch it on the really big screen, and I don't regret that at all. I'd watch this in IMAX if I could. Yeah, even some of the people like next to me, they were like dude bros, but they were like quite shocked by some of the scenes. They were like, "Fuck!" Like this, like Alex Garland has a pretty good grasp on horror, because it's not a scary movie, but there's some imagery in this movie that is quite like confronting. It's not gory or violent, but that's
kind of what Annihilation is as well. Right?
Yeah.
Not super gory, but some of it is a bit uncomfortable to look at.
Yeah. As I said, like I could talk about this movie for a long time, but I'll try not to, because we do have to talk about the Roundup. But I was another movie I really liked. But I would just say go watch it in the theater. Go support this kind of vision. So Alex Garland can make more movies, because I feel like he's a director that gets kind of thrown aside a lot, really. Yeah, I mean, Annihilation just went straight to Netflix, and most people were like, oh, what is this weird crap, you know? You don't have the experience, you know? And just be open-minded, you know? It's not just, like, look beyond just story and character, you know? There's a lot here that you can read into that I think most people have missed, yeah.
Well, you mentioned slop before, Thavy.
Yeah. Are you talking about Rebel Moon?
I watched Rebel Moon. You haven't seen either of these films? I haven't
seen either of them. Yeah. I want to. I'll let you talk about it first. I just want to hear your opinion.
I'm not dancing around any spoilers. You either have seen it or you haven't at this point.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't think I'm going to watch them.
It's on Netflix. It's Zack Snyder's, Seven Samurai.
A
bunch of Imperials are, harassing this village for their grain. So the hero has to go round up a bunch of warriors to help defend the village against the might of the Imperial army. This series is the epitome of a Netflix film, in that you don't have to pay much attention to watch it. You can do other stuff while watching. You can just be doing your laundry while you're watching it, or you can just switch your brain off and just let your mind wander as you watch these glossy, muscular people do sci-fi things in slow motion.
The only thing I'm aware about these movies is that they're poorly received. The first one had mixed reviews, but the second one has overwhelmingly negative reviews. Yeah. And I'm wondering, are these movies actually that bad? Because Zack Snyder is kind of the Le Seraphim of the director's world at the moment.
He gets kicked a lot.
People just kind of like to dunk on him, and I don't think he's a bad guy either. But
no, he seems like a really nice guy, actually.
Yeah, so I wonder why do people hate
I think because
is it his vision?
I think it's his fandom as well. It doesn't help. His fandom is quite fanatical, the Justice League Snyder Cut situation.
Yeah.
So and the Flash one most cheer-worthy moment in the Oscars somehow of all time in the history of cinema, you know? So like,
yeah.
I think that that plays a part. But yeah, like it's not good. The second one, I don't even know if the second one is better than the first one, but both of them are not good movies.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that they're good, but are they like...
they're not like Red Notice, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they're not like, offensive, I would say.
I feel like, judging from what you're saying, I probably wouldn't like these movies. I might be mildly entertained, but
these are the kind of movies that you watch when you're trying to fill time. Like if you're going on like a 5-hour flight somewhere, I would definitely download these two films and just watch them back to back, you know?
Nah, watch 12 Years a Slave. But like, I watch a lot of stuff and I know what a 10% movie looks like. So like, I wonder if this movie is really that bad or just like, is it just really silly? Like, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of talent behind it. Yeah.
I think the thing is like, Zack Snyder's been given full creative control. He's like, you know, he's written something quote unquote original. So because it's not good, people are kind of kicking him for it. And yeah, I mean, I don't think it's that bad. I do have one pretty big problem with the second film, which is a full spoiler, but I won't talk too much about it. I'll just,
if you want to, like, I don't care.
I'll just tell you my main issue with this second film. So it's a Seven Samurai film, right? So like they've gathered all these warriors, yeah? Like all of the warriors, their personalities are pretty much the same. Like they're all brooding warriors seeking redemption because of a tragic past. So don't worry about their personalities so much. I'm just going to kind of describe their general aesthetic, Thavy. And I want you to tell me who interests you the most out of the people that I've described, okay? Mm-hmm. So there's General Titus. He's like a muscular guy with long hair. So he's like the leader. He's good at strategy and shooting. But he's also good at tackling guys in slow motion, and then there's a guy named Tarek. He's also a muscular man with long hair, but he's different from Titus because he uses an axe instead of a gun. There's a lady named Milius who looks a bit like Furiosa, except she doesn't have a metal arm. She's also good at shooting.
I thought she was the lead. Isn't that the one that they're the poster child of?
Well, no, that's a different person. That is Korra. The main character's name is Korra. Who is fairly similar.
But what you're getting along is that these characters are all like
wait, Thavy, wait. Then there's Nemesis, a character named Nemesis, who's styled like a Korean feudal warrior.
Yeah, that's Bae Doona's character, yeah.
She has 2 cybernetic arms with which she uses to dual wield a pair of red-hot swords in very balletic and visually stunning fight sequences. So Thavy, out of these characters, which one are you most interested in seeing on screen?
Honestly, I mean, like, the Korean one sounds cool, but like, because I like Bae Doona, so yeah.
And which one do you think is the only one that gets killed off in the very early stages of the battle, Thavy?
Is that Bae Doona?
It is Bae Doona, yes. And I thought so. Like, there's not even a reason for her death. Like, it's not a noble sacrifice. It's not like used to highlight the hopelessness of their situation. It is kind of just, she just gets overwhelmed by soldiers and killed. So like, I just don't understand the decision to kill off the coolest character in your movie so early.
Yeah, that's very interesting, actually.
Like, was Bae Doona busy? Like, none of the other characters get killed. It's just her.
Really? Just her?
Yeah.
Maybe
I think one other guy might get killed, but
Zack Snyder just like low-key racist then maybe. Get rid of the
Well,
Asian.
I mean, it kind of reminds me of like in the Eternals, you know?
Where, kill off Ma Dong Seok, Because like, he's the coolest one. But let's kill him.
Kill him off midway through the movie.
It's like, I don't know what these Asians like up story. Let's just get rid of him. It's like,
I have to believe must be like scheduling conflicts or something. I don't know. Maybe Bae Doona was busy.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, it's a perfect movie, Thavy.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
That kind of makes me want to watch it even less now because like my only passing interest in these movies is that Bae Doona is in it. And now that she's dead, it's like, well, I mean, there's no reason for me to watch these movies now. So yeah. 0 out of 10.
Well, there's 4 more coming out, Thavy. So
4 of them. I don't know if that's gonna come. Like,
it might not happen. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
four more movies and an R-rated version of this series maybe is, I don't know. Zack Snyder's saying a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Like I don't mind Zack Snyder. Like I like some of his films. I liked his original Dawn of the Dead remake. I liked 300. I liked Watchmen. I think it was
Watchmen.
everything like post Watchmen where like I think he started to decline in his quality. I think I didn't like.
I think he's pretty hit or miss. He's like, he's got an M. Night Shyamalan strike rate from my perspective.
Yeah,
you know, it's about 50-50, I reckon.
Yeah. But I don't think this movie, just judging from its trailers and from what you're saying, I don't think this movie is that bad, but it's probably bad. Yeah.
And
like,
you know
I'm
what?
probably not going to waste my time watching it.
If four of them came out and I had laundry to do, I'd probably watch them.
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah. That's what movies are these days. It's like
just mind rot.
Yeah.
Just a way to like make time go faster.
So when Civil War eventually comes out onto stream, it's like, just put it in the background. Don't need to pay attention to.
It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah. Don't pay attention to like an actually good movie. Just put it in the background.
Let's talk about an actually good movie.
Yeah.
The Roundup punishment.
Yeah, and Ma Dong Seok doesn't die in this one. Not the coolest person dies. Ooh, spoiler. Yeah. Even though two more are in the pipeworks already. Spoiler.
I'm not dancing around spoilers for this movie. It's not a spoiler movie.
It's not. It's
like if you're not familiar with this series, it's basically the Lethal Weapon series, but with less saxophone and a bigger man as the lead. You know, each movie centers around super cop Ma Suk-do trying to solve a case and slapping and punching his way through goons until he gets to a big boss fight at the end. That's what this movie is, basically.
It's pretty much exactly the same. Yeah.
If that sounds like something you'd enjoy, you know, you're going to enjoy it regardless of what we say.
Yeah. I mean, like the only difference is each movie, they tackle a different elements of crime, and this one is online gambling and scams.
So the first one, Outlaws, was low key gangster stuff, right? Second one, Roundup 2, was like human trafficking.
That's it.
Third one, No Way Out, was corrupt cops and drugs and yakuza.
Okay, that's right. That's it. See, the thing that I really thoroughly, heavily enjoy these films.
Yeah.
But they are all the same. I forgot what the third one was about until you
we watched it fairly recently.
We watched this last year. Like my opinion of this movie is the same as all the other ones. Really fun.
Which we have covered like in the past. Yes.
And these movies have a bit of a fan base behind them because
were there people in your screening?
A lot of Koreans were there. Yeah, like it wasn't full, but it was pretty like packed. I saw this on opening night at Melbourne Central. Fun show. Like a lot of people, so many people are having such a good time watching this movie. A lot of laughs, a lot of laughs. It is just so much fun watching.
It's not for everybody, but very fun movies if you like this kind of stuff.
But like if you like 90s action, if you were the guy that bought like VHS packs of Lethal Weapon or like you know Charles Bronson movies or even like the Dirty Harry series, just you'd love these movies.
It's just cops like grossly abusing their power to get results while the captain is up their ass, basically.
Scene where like I'm not gonna dance around spoilers. The bit where like they're trying to interrogate this one guy and it's a goon. And then he's like, the guy's not talking. And then Ma Suk-do just comes in with the bicycle helmet from the first one. It's like, you're not talking, are you? Well, we can see it. And then it's just like, it's like...
They don't even close the blinds this time, Thavy. In the previous movie, they tried to hide it a little, but
it's just like...
It's just like,
and there's also the sound design, because he's just hitting this guy in the head like while he's wearing this bicycle helmet. And it's just like you can still just hear the crunches.
Sound design is so good in this film. In all of these films, just so much crunchy punching.
My favorite part of this movie especially though is the return of Jang I-su.
Joe Pesci, he's back.
She's Joe Pesci, the Joe Pesci of this series. He is so fucking funny. Like I was like tearing up when I saw him because he just looked. I was like laughing on the inside so much because he looks so fucking stupid.
He was missing in the previous movie.
Yeah, he was.
He's back now.
He's back with like a vengeance.
So
like
should we talk about the plot a little bit?
Oh yeah, I guess we should. Yeah.
So the big bad this time around is a guy named Baek Chang-yi, played by Kim Boo-yeol, making this a Gangster the Cop, the Devil reunion of sorts. But this time the two actors are on opposing teams. So Chang-yi is a mercenary working for a ring of online casinos. He's working for a genius programmer and weedy secondary antagonist, Jang Dong-seok, who's essentially set up a monopoly of casinos by using Chang-yi and
I
his
just
goons.
remembered something about that character. Yeah, it's really funny. I think you know what I'm going to say about that guy. Yeah.
But anyway, he's using Chang-yi and his goons to drive away any competitors that dare try to start a casino on their turf. Now, the way Ma Seok kind of gets brought into this situation is that one of the hackers that they're using to run their online casino escapes. And then Chang-yi murders him on the streets in the Philippines. And basically, Ma Seok-do, while investigating kind of like an online drug dispensary, he comes across this murder. And he essentially promises the victim's mum that he'll find whoever's responsible and take them down.
Yeah, that's like the inciting incident, I suppose.
But he's entering the realm of cybercrime this time, Thavy, and he's not prepared for it.
He can't punch his way through it.
So he has to get help.
Says. Yeah.
And who does he get to help him? Jang I-su. So Jang I-su, he's kind of got a background in this because he himself tried to start an online casino and failed. So he's got experience in this realm of criminality. So Seok-do kind of enlists him as at first he's a kind of reluctant participant in this investigation, but then he gets pretty into it as time goes on. As soon as he gets made an FDA agent.
Yeah, that was like, it's so funny. Like, we're kind of skipping to the end a bit, but like, I just have to talk about it because it's really funny. Like, they basically organized this massive like online sting in the Philippines, and they have to get like Jang I-su to go over there, and they're trying to kind of convince him to go. And like I said, he's reluctant. So Ma Dong Seok like gives him this badge that says like FDA, which is the Food and Drug Administration. It's basically the US food like safety
the
thing,
health inspectors, basically.
Yeah. It's got like an eagle on it. So he gives it this badge, and then he basically tricks Jang I-su into thinking that he's actually like part of Ma Dong Seok's like shadow organization. What does he say? Like the police dark army.
Yes.
It's like, what is it?
Police.
MCA police, and it's just like the little reactions of when like Jang I-su has the power, and he just sees little facial expressions.
Yeah, he's so excited.
It's really funny, and he like keeps
he's got his stupid wig on for the whole time. He's got this stupid
stupid long-haired wig, and he's not like even that old. He's in it, like the actor's like 43 years old. But and then like there's a bit where the rival gangs try to stop this sting, and they've caught the bait that the team have set up. And then they raid the store. There's all these like they've got all these fake casino dealers, and then one of the gangs has like one of them hostage, and then like Jang I-su like rescues her by like knocking the guy out with like a nightstick, and then the cops are like, "Oh man, you did a really fucking good job, man!" Like flashes his like FDA. It's really funny. And then there's like this whole fight scene where like it's the typical Korean burly brawl. It's like just doing a pan across, and you're seeing like everyone fighting each other, and then you kind of get just like, it's only like a snippet, but it's like you just see like Jang I-su on his stupid wig like smashing someone's stomach with a nightstick and just being like supremely overconfident, and it's so funny. It's just like
very good.
It's the best.
That whole FDA bit is very like reminiscent of Lethal Weapon and how they handle Joe Pesci's character.
Yeah. I don't remember. Like, is Joe Pesci kind of like? Do they try to get him to do something like that as well?
Like he starts off as kind of like an inside man, and then like because there's so much danger involved, he's very reluctant. But then they like, they pretty much do the same thing to him as they do in this movie.
Well, when we talked about Monkey Man earlier a few weeks ago now, we said there was an issue with that movie's climax where it's like there's the vendetta against like the cop working under the big bad, right? But the cop had like all the personal stakes, but Dev Patel fights like the big bad on his own as like the climax. But this one, in this movie, they've done it well in that like, is it Beck? Is that what you said his name is?
Yeah, Beck Chang-yi.
Baek Chang-yi, yeah. So he's the personal stake for Ma Dong Seok because he killed the guy that Ma Dong Seok said he would catch, like as a promise to the mother. So he's kind of like doing some form of insubordination against this big bad. And the big bad guy, his character is also really funny. He's super well casted as this kind of like rich kid sniveling ratty guy. He reminds me of the main bad guy in The Beekeeper, actually, which is a movie I'm gonna keep referencing that movie. So far, some of my favorite movies this year are Civil War and The Beekeeper, which are both like different.
I imagine Beekeeper probably has a lot of the same vibe as this movie.
It does. I was watching that like last night. I was just like chilling out, like I'm gonna watch The Beekeeper. But yeah, so he's kind of like this kind of ratty guy. And there was one scene where I'm surprised it didn't get that much of a laugh, but he's like in his office and he has a painting of himself, like 3 canvas paintings to like cover him like posing lying down, and it looks so funny because he's like I watched it with the Sun Man and we like cracked up so much just looking at this ridiculous painting of himself because he's like a pretty like weaselly looking guy, but he's obviously the kind of character who thinks he's really good looking. So just the absurdity of it, that you are so rich and evil that you have a painting of yourself just in the back.
I really enjoyed this character. He's he does that so well. Just sniveling, like weaselly, big boss character. And he's got so much confidence, like in himself as well. Like he's never really scared of Chang-yi. You know? He's always kind of like talking down to him and shit. Even though Chang-yi is like very scary. He's a very scary man.
He's super scary, yeah.
I think that they've done well in like casting this main antagonist as well. Because like in previous films, I feel like, because Ma Dong Seok's character is so physically imposing, you know, he's just busting through bad guys for the whole entirety of the movie. So it's kind of it's hard to set up a villain that is physically a match for him. Yeah. And because these movies always end in a one-on-one fist fight between him and the main villain, like it always kind of feels like Seok-do is never in danger. But in this one, you know, the guy is I don't know, there's something about him where I feel like...
I get you. I think it's because there's a scene where like Seok-do and him kind of meet for the first time, and he does kind of this really sinister look quite well. And the fact that like they managed to separate, and Seok-do and another one of the cop buddies, they like separate, but his cop buddy gets attacked by Beck, and then he's like having a massive fight and he's like losing, and Ma Seok-do is fighting like 3 guys and he beats them up, but then he comes in and he has like a worker comes in, you know, and then she's like completely innocent to the whole thing, and then when he comes in with her, like you actually see like Ma Dong Seok like worried because he knows he can't do anything about like he's like he can't save her if he does something, and then like when you see he's like put a lot of pressure on the throat because he's telling Ma Seok-do what he's gonna do, and like like jams a knife in her throat. She doesn't die, I guess, luckily, which is good. As said in throwaway line, like she's in the hospital, she'll be okay. But like, it'll be
There's a lot of like supporting female characters in this film.
It is a boys' club movie. There is one character who they've tried to bring in some female representation.
Yeah, they added a girl to the team.
Yeah, she's
part of the cyber crimes division. Yeah, she doesn't do that.
She has a pretty funny scene with Jang I-su as well, though. They're like undercover at the casino. Jang I-su just keeps like blowing their cover, and then
But you do get a sense that this guy is a cut above the rest of the previous adversaries that Seok-do has had to face.
Yeah, even in the final fight scene,
does pretty well.
He's not as like OP. Yeah, he does pretty well. Still gets owned, But he hurts Ma Dong Seok. Yeah.
He almost gets him. He almost gets him in the neck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this guy, he's all about knives. Yeah. So the final fight scene takes place in like an airplane cabin where all the civilians have been cleared out. And it is a 2-on-1 at the start as well. But the other guy doesn't really pose that much of a threat, even though I quite like his action performance as well. Like his shtick of like boxing, but also he's got a knife,
Yeah.
There's a really cool bit where they're like Jang I and that guy are fighting a bunch of rival gangsters in a hotel room.
Yeah. That scene was really cool. Yeah.
It's a really good fight scene. Yeah.
I mean, again, man, these movies and like just Korean action movies have mastered action really well. Like there's a lot of wide shots. There's a lot of environmental damage, and even in the plane, like it's like smashing through a lot of the seats and stuff. And this is, I mean, the running joke of like after Ma Dong Seok's apprehended them, it's like, oh yeah, so the captain comes in and is like, oh, are you the captain? It's like, yeah, we need you to like pay for the damages. It's like, what? It's like, just come in. You see like Ma Seok do just like on this escalator, like just like
going away.
He's just going away. So funny. Like, yeah, they've really like got the formula well. I think with how like structurally similar these movies are, if you only watch action cinema and you don't watch anything else, like you could potentially get sick of these movies. I think you and I, we watch like a pretty varied amount of stuff. So when a movie like the Roundup comes out and I watch it, I'm like, it's the same as the previous ones, but it's so much fun. Like I don't even really give a shit. Because everything is very solid.
They definitely scratch an itch.
Yeah. But it's all like super solid. Like I think these movies are timeless. I can watch any Roundup movie at any period in the future. It's like if I watch like a Lethal Weapon movie, if I watch like Predator or like a Schwarzenegger action movie or even Commando. Yeah. The age of it does not affect my enjoyment. It can be watched at any time, I don't think there's anything in this movie that dates it. Like all the humor is quite situational and a lot of it is within the performances of the actors and it's not really jokes. It's just like situations. So you don't have to worry about losing that, I guess, that comedy aspect of it. And the action scenes, they're all just really solidly shot and they're all fun to watch. And again, it's the level of violence in these movies are not so much that it's high impact, which is kind of ironic considering the big selling point of these movies is Ma Dong Seok's high impact punch. But it's like, they're not like confronting in a way that it'll make you feel disgusted. Yeah, it's not cruel as most people would say. Like,
it's a little bit cruel. I sometimes feel bad for the bad guys that he's beating.
Yeah, he does like a running like knee smash into bed.
That guy should be dead.
He's probably dead. That's all right. He's probably gonna have like some long-term permanent injuries,
brain damage. Yeah,
that's really funny though. Yeah, so it's tongue in cheek in itself that if you are smart enough to know that this is not real life, then enjoy the heck out of these movies, man. Like, there's no commentary. There doesn't need to be. It's a popcorn movie, Get your popcorn, have a beer if you can, if you're most likely probably going to be watching this at home. Because I know physical media is on the decline, but I would love to, like, when all the Roundup movies are out, if I could just get like a really like neat box set collection of it. And,
do we know how many they're planning to do?
Oh, I think there's 2 more in the works. More, That's a lot. That's a lot of Roundup. As much as I said I love this series, like
at the moment they are at Lethal Weapon numbers. So there's 4 movies in this series so far.
Or John Wick numbers, But these movies, I mean, they're by no means not making like billions in the box office, but they're making like a lot of money in Korea.
They're doing well. And I think the audience is growing as well still. Like, like I only got to see No Way Out in cinemas. That was the first one of these that I've seen in cinemas. That had a pretty small audience. But then this one had a bigger audience. And I think because Ma Dong Seok is pretty popular as well. So I think the audience numbers are going to continue to grow.
Yeah. And I mean, these are our like more higher performing episodes. So we decided to overindulge and talk about a bunch of other stuff before getting to the main review. People might actually be like, can you guys shut the fuck up and talk about what I clicked on for? And then, sorry guys, but we sometimes just like to
skip ahead if you want. That's what time codes are for.
That's what time codes are for. Yeah, don't listen to the whole thing. But yeah, it's like, I mean, I'm just gonna try to have, because this is like the crime city. Is that what the?
Well, I think this one is Crime City 4 in Korean.
I'm just having a quick look at the wiki. I think there's gonna be like a couple of spin-offs as well. So they kind of want to make this the Korean Fast and Furious, I guess, which is okay. I mean, I can kind of see the comparison. I think these movies are better than the Fast and Furious franchise.
Well, I think because Fast and Furious escalates wildly. I think these have kind of just remained consistent though. Like there's not really any big escalation in terms of like scale of the crimes or it's very much similar to the Lethal Weapon series. Like sometimes they'll introduce like new characters. They still haven't introduced a Rene Russo character to the series. So
that's true.
Maybe that'll happen.
You thought it was gonna be the cyber cop chick, but she kind of just like disappears after
Give it time. Like they kind of alluded to a bigger threat in that, like in No Way Out, there were these big Yakuza guys in Japan that were kind of still at large, like Ricky's bosses. So I thought they might come back in this movie, but they didn't. So I don't know where that plot point's going. But yeah, I don't think they need to serialize it really, especially if they've only got 2 movies left. Or maybe they'll do like a 2-parter.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I know that they're making at least one more. They're making one after this one. So I mean, they're probably like filming it. And I feel like Ma Dong Seok really likes playing this character. Because why wouldn't you? You're being like promoted as like a fucking badass, And it
really plays to his strengths, not just like his physical attributes, but also just like his comedic ability. There's a lot of facial gags.
Yeah, he's got that charisma,
like exuding charisma. He plays off I-su like really well. I think like they're just a really winning combination.
Yeah, I mean, like trying to look for criticism of this movie is not really the point. But you don't really see too much of his cop buddies in this one, as compared to maybe the others.
I think they do a bit. They're definitely better at fighting now. They have like a big fight in the opening scene of the movie.
The scene where they keep knocking out the delivery boys and they're just hiding. It's really funny. Yeah. They're just like, because they've got these drug dealers and they beat them up and they're waiting for their delivery guys. But like, Ma Dong Seok's just hiding in this closet the whole time, and then he pops out. Like they knock out one guy, and they realize shit, there's more. And then like there's a shot revealing that they've shoved all these delivery guys into this like closet space, and it's like, all right, let's get back into hiding. It's like, I think the big thing about these movies and watching Ma Dong Seok is the sense of comfort seeing that character on screen. It's like everything's gotta be all right, He will just solve it. And he's the power fantasy of just like sticking it up to whatever evil there is in crime. He's gonna solve it like regardless. And it's
he's an unstoppable force. He's Jack Reacher, but he's funnier.
I haven't seen the Reacher series. It's pretty good, but
it's okay. I watched the first season, which was fine. I didn't finish the second season. But no, these films are a lot funnier than that series. I think this film, it generally doesn't take itself too seriously. There hasn't been a moment where the shit got real yet.
Yeah.
I mean, this kind of does in that he does have some personal stakes in it because he makes that promise to that lady.
Yeah, but it's kind of like, you don't really give a shit about that lady that much, to be honest. It's sad, okay? Like, it's obvious, but she's kind of just like, I'm going to give you a reason to be mad. And then she like self-terminates, I guess. And then, make sure you do this. See ya. And then make sure and it's like,
you're like, oh no.
Oh no.
The bureaucrat from All of Us Are Dead, maybe.
Oh yeah.
The lady from Happiness, maybe. I don't know.
It's got the guy from, what was that show that we covered earlier this year? The World War II one.
Gyeong-sung Creature.
Yeah, Gyeong-sung Creature. It's got like the Japanese general in this movie, right? He plays like the lackey of the main big bad.
Maybe that's another guy with glasses though.
I think it's the same dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he plays a Korean guy in this one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, on that note, what race is Jang I-su supposed to be? Is he Korean? Or is he Chinese? Because
he speaks
Filipino in this.
Yeah.
And like he speaks Filipino well enough to fool native Filipinos into thinking that he's Filipino. So I don't know. What is he? What kind of Asian is he?
I think that's a good point, because Jang I-su is in the original one, the Outlaws, yeah.
And I think he's
they're based on real like people, right? So I think he's supposed to be Chinese, but he's obviously like Korean, like in this
I love the dialect he uses as well. It sounds really funny. I think it's like the Korean equivalent of Kansai Ben, right?
Oh yeah, I don't know the dialect, but yeah, maybe. Like I haven't looked into it, but like I just enjoy him because he's really funny.
Would you like to see these movies just continue to do the same thing, or would you like to see some kind of escalation? Or
I mean, I don't know, because like,
would you like a Dead Reckoning style two-parter to cap this series off?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the last one, the third one, like I did say, like, you know, having a little bit of escalation would be nice, you know, as not to keep the formula would get too stale. But when I watched this movie, I'm like, man, this is fun. Like, I don't know if, I mean, I'm going to say, yeah, sure, like escalation would be nice, but also it is, this kind of cinema is like comfort cinema, It's just like, you want to feel good, you know? It's why like people maybe watch reality shows. It's like, you can kind of turn your brain off a little bit and not have to worry about anything that is too egregious or having to feel too, because like, I mean, I'm all about, you know, trying to feel different things while watching movies. I mean, talking about Civil War, that's a pretty deeply uncomfortable movie at times, which I think makes that fantastic. But sometimes when you want to watch, like, I get the idea of just wanting to watch something like, you know,
Rebel Moon.
Rebel Moon, maybe if you're a Snyder fan, the Rebel Moon that makes you happy, then go for it. Can't say much for reality shows, because then you're forcing people like us to work on these shows and nobody wants to work on them. Off topic slightly, but like I've had just a lot of conversations of other people who have just worked on all these other reality shows, and they're just like, they're so downtrodden, man. And it's because people keep watching them. And it's like, oh, I gotta make this fucking show.
Work is work.
And I'm like, oh, that suck. People want to work on good stuff, but then nobody wants to watch it. It's fine. It's just like, let's watch a chunk. But anyway.
Well, good is subjective, Thavy. I'm sure there are a lot of people that will watch these Roundup movies and just not be into them. And that's fine as well.
Good is subjective, but then there's also people that like that Camila Cabello stage as well, where you're just definitely wrong. So,
there is definitely a market for this kind of film, and I think that can be seen in the growing audience numbers. Despite these movies essentially all being the same, the audience seems to be growing. So I don't think they necessarily need to change the formula up.
I don't think they're going to change it, and if they don't, then I think that's fine, because like these movies work as they are. And I guess it's like, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
They just need to find another narrative excuse to bring Jang I-su back into the story.
They do.
They were kind of stretching it with this one. I don't know how they're going to do it again for the next one.
Because I don't know if they can just keep tricking him, but they could probably come up with a funny way, because he's a bit of an idiot, but a lovable idiot. Oh, I do want to talk about like Jang I-su's like kind of the end, where he gets like busted speeding by like police officers, and he's like with his partner or whoever girl he's seeing, and he's like, don't worry, like I got this. And then he's like flashes his FDA badge, and the guy's like, I'm gonna have to like bust you for like impersonating an officer. What the fuck? It's like, I'm part of the police dark army. He's like, oh, it's the FDA. But aside from that, there is a song that they play, and it is so fitting. Like, I haven't seen a piece of soundtrack that has fitted so much with this. And I couldn't find out. I was like trying to find out what this song was. It kind of sounds like a 1980s retro Korean song. It is so fucking. It says everything about the character. It says everything about the situation, and it just oozes humor. And I just wanted to listen to it because I couldn't stop laughing at this song. And just the panic of the yeah. And then just hear his panics through the phone when he's called like Ma Dong back. And he just smiles and just hangs up.
And it ends with a freeze frame.
And then they play the song in the credits. So I'm like, I really like, if you are listening to this and you know the name of this song, please put it in the comments because I want to listen to it because it's so funny. I want to play this in my own like comedic mishaps. It will just make my life much better when I fuck things up. I'll just play this song. And it's funny. It was perfect. It's the best piece of soundtrack. You know, you'd have stuff like Hans Zimmer's soundtrack. You have John Williams. You've got this retro Korean 80s song that is in the Roundup. Yeah. And like it's changed because like the other Roundups had this kind of like really heavy, like gangster like sounding song, which I kind of missed a little bit in this soundtrack. But like the song is so funny that I'm like, yeah, like that's cool. Like I'll play this song. I really want to listen to it again because it's making me like I got a massive like grin on my face just thinking about this song. It's so slapstick. It's really funny. Yeah, I don't know what it's called though.
It's a good way to end this film.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I have much more to say about this film. To be honest, it's good.
It's pretty
Roundup,
concise.
please.
Yeah, more Roundup. I think when we watch the next Roundup next year, we're probably just going to be saying the same things. But you know that's all right.
You know, if these films can get away with doing the same thing, then we can get away with doing the same thing with our reviews of it. So
yeah. No, I think that wraps it up. Yeah, clearly from how we've received this movie, go watch it. Go watch it when you can. It's fun. Yeah.
But guys, what did you think of the Roundup punishment? Did you think it was a solid entry to the series or were you hoping for a little bit more? Let us know. You can get in touch with us at 2asianblokes@gmail.com. You can join our Facebook group to be part of the conversation, or you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at 2asianblokes to see what we're up to. I've got to find that song.
Yeah, this is the part where I tell Risky to make a song to play us out on this episode, but
you heard the man, Risky.
I don't know if I could find a reference. This is where my directing skills got to come in.
Risky should have seen this film already, so.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm sure they would have played this song in like a song like this in one of the other Roundups. Maybe I'll try to find it and send it to him as well. Yeah. So yeah, there you go, Risky. A little bit of extra work for you. And this will probably be next week's episode because I need more time to edit what I'm doing at the moment.
Yep, get it done, Risky. You heard the man. Yeah.
I'll come busting in with my Ma Dong Seok build and be like, you know what?
You're holding like a USB. FDA. Police Dark Army.
Police Dark Army.
It's a good gag.
It is a good gag.
All right, I think that's it from us, guys. We'll see you later.
See you later, guys. Bye.
Bye.